Grab a cup of coffee and start your Sunday with Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life features stories to inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Every Sunday morning at 9 on the Talk of New York, AM 970, The Apple. Visit cyacyl.com.
Good morning, this is Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in. Did you know that almost 1/3 of the youth in the United States are obese and that the majority of American adults are overweight and undernourished? As Americans, we are drawn to eating unhealthy food and then we wonder why we're overweight and over-medicated. Today's guest, Dr. Joel Fuhrman, a family physician and nutritional researcher who specializes in preventing and reversing disease, says that this does not have to be the case and that by eating the right foods, we can lose weight and prevent disease. Dr. Fuhrman is the author of the books Eat to Live, Eat for Health, and Disease-Proof Your Child. Good morning, Dr. Fuhrman. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Joan. Great to be here.
Dr. Fuhrman, I read your book and I watched your PBS special, and on a personal level, I believe that you have very important information to share. So I'm really excited that you're joining us to teach our listeners about your program and about all of the research that you've been able to conduct over the years.
I think that the success of Eat to Live and the PBS special, I think it shows that Americans have gotten so sick and so fed up with taking drugs and realizing it's not the answer. They've been led down a path of, medical and health tragedies. And I think they're ready to wake up to the realization that they can take control of their health destiny and do something. And the bottom line is that we can win the war on cancer. We can not have heart attacks and strokes, and that nutritional science has advanced so far today, and it's just imperative that Americans know this information.
And I agree, because I think we've become a society of quick fixes. Take a pill for anything. After reading your book, it really isn't that difficult. We all know on some level what we need to do, and it's really, as you say in the book, making the commitment to do it.
Right. I think that one of my unique contributions to this field of nutritional science is the fact that when you eat a diet that's low in nutrient quality, you don't meet your micronutrient needs of the body, you develop unrelenting food cravings and a desire to overeat calories, which expressed itself as food addictions, and that unhealthy food or toxic food or low nutrient processed and refined food can be as every bit as addicting as snorting cocaine or shooting up with heroin or smoking cigarettes, that people don't generally recognize that most Americans are addicted to overeating food, and this addiction is really taking their health down the toilet.
So Dr. Fuhrman, Dr. Oz has called your Eat to Live program a medical breakthrough. So what is this program, and how does it differ from any other, and I hate to use the word diet, way of eating that people are utilizing to try to lose weight and maintain a healthier lifestyle?
Right, and I like to use the term diet style.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend a certain diet style of eating, a diet style, because, we're talking about the connotation of the word diet means something you do for a short period of time, and this is for everybody. This is for people who don't want to get cancer in their future, don't want to have heart attacks, don't want to be demented when they get older, don't want to have a stroke and be in a nursing home, unable to move half their body. It's not something we do for a short period of time. It's something we're living with for our whole life, to eat great tasting, healthy food. And at the same avenue, it is the most effective way people can lose weight, and thousands of people have dropped more than 100 pounds in just 1 year doing this plan. And it's not losing weight too rapidly. If they have the weight to lose, it's safer and better. They get it off. So to answer your question now, what's the basic? What is it? What kind of basic diet is it? Well, it's two basic issues here. One is based on the micronutrient density of food, and micronutrients are those food elements that do not contain calories, like vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals. And we've discovered, for example, that every strawberry has 700 different phytochemicals in it. Every piece of broccoli, more than 1,000 different phytochemicals. The point is that food is very rich in micronutrients, and when we achieve sufficient levels of these micronutrients in our tissues, it doesn't just protect us against cancer, which people don't realize that's how protective these certain foods are against cancer, which we have to talk about, but also these micronutrients induce weight loss, because they contain certain, let's consider one thing they do contain, and that's called angiogenesis inhibitors. When you eat green vegetables, when you eat mushrooms, when you eat onions, when you eat berries, when you eat seeds, when you eat these foods, they contain certain phytochemicals that prevent the fat cells from being fed. Let me say that one more time. To sustain fat on your body, the fat has to grow red blood vessels into them. The blood vessels, in other words, has to grow into the fat and deliver nutrients and energy to the fat cells to sustain it and to grow. And those vessels can't grow into the fat. They won't sustain fat, they won't maintain fat, and they won't allow fat to grow when you have sufficient amount of these angiogenesis inhibitors from these high-nutrient foods I'm talking about. So it's not just 2,000 calories. It's no longer just, you eat... It's just calories in, calories out, and exercise more. I mean, why does one person eat, 2,000 calories is thin, and another person eating 2,000 calories is fat? And I'm saying here that the quality of what you eat is important. We can't just cut back on the quantity. We have to eat more nutritional quality because that's going to make you desire less food. And that's one thing I've actually studied and published a medical research study on that was published in the November 2010 Nutrition Journal. And that's easily accessible on the web, on the internet. So that's one aspect. And the second aspect is as we eat foods that are low in nutrients, and the American diet is now 62% of calories from processed foods. Mm-hmm. And that's things like pasta and bread and salad oil and mayonnaise and donuts and cookies and rice cakes and breakfast bars and chips and soft drinks and candy. That as we eat foods that don't contain nutrients, the body builds up toxins. It builds up free radicals. Mm-hmm. It builds up AGEs. They're, of course, called advanced glycation end products, which accelerates the complications of diabetes and ages us and causes, and sets the stage for cancer. We build up toxic waste products in our system, and these toxic waste products cause us to gain weight. They cause us to eat more food. When we try to stop eating, even for a couple of hours, we start to withdraw from those toxins as if we're shooting up with heroin or cocaine. We get shaky, we get weak, we get fatigued, we get headachy, we get stomach cramping. In other words, we feel ill the minute our digestive tract stops digesting food. It's almost as if the minute your level of caffeine dips, the middle level of heroin dips, or a little level of your nicotine dips, you're driven to take more nicotine, to have another cigarette, to have another shot of heroin. Well, the same thing is with this processed food. The minute we try to stop eating it for a few hours, we get intense cravings and feel ill and discomfort if we don't put something in our mouth and get the digestive tract started again. So the second aspect is critically important to have people understand that food could be powerfully addicting. Explains why people fail diets in the past, why they've given up, why they've thrown in the towel, why they've checked out, and why diets don't work for them. And when they have a comprehensive understanding of all these factors of why the drugs don't work, why they're potentially dangerous even to take the medications that you think are your saviors for blood pressure and diabetes and cholesterol. Mm-hmm. How food is more effective than drugs, how the food you've been eating created the overeating problem to begin with, and lastly, the fact that can be changed and learned, and that healthy foods can be made to taste great, and that you can have your health and eat it. You can have the best of both worlds. You can have great taste, more pleasure with eating, and control your health destiny. Not be overweight, not be sickly, not have high blood pressure, heart disease, cancer, and like all of the Americans eventually get.
Now, Dr. Fuhrman, some of these types of diets that are out there that people follow, the ones that you can eat all the protein, the bacons, the fats, but you cut out the fruits, and what type of damage are we doing to ourselves?
Well, then, besides not being that effective and people still having to take cholesterol-lowering drugs and blood pressure medications and still having heart attacks in those diets, besides they're not being effective, they also cause cancer. And that's unfortunately, it's kind of sad that the most popular diets sometimes are the most dangerous, most deadly diets. And there's some very fascinating research now to show that a hormone in the body called IGF-1, and that's insulin-like growth factor 1, is very closely linked to both breast and prostate cancer. And that a higher level of that hormone circulating dramatically increases your risk of breast cancer. And that hormone is promoted by more high-protein foods in your diet. In other words, the high-protein diets have been responsible for sudden cardiac death, irregular heartbeats caused by electrolyte shifts. But of course, they also set the stage for a higher risk of later life cancer, which is a shame that people are. Like you can smoke cigarettes to lose a little weight. You can snort cocaine, which helps people lose weight. But I think advocating those high-protein diets that are in the that are often go in and out of style and fads are also are dangerous things that people just do because fad diets are popular and people like to eat whatever they want to eat. But the bottom line here is that of course my book Eat to Live, it's not going to go out of style. It's not going to change in 10 years or 15 years. It's not a fad. It's based on a whole century of science, but it's based on the facts here that the body, as a primate, we require, a high micronutrient load, and those antioxidants and micronutrients that have the anti-cancer effects we're looking for are found in certain foods that we have to eat a lot of. And those foods, of course, are green vegetables, onions, mushrooms, beans, berries, and seeds that are rich in these anti-cancer substances. And these same substances that enable the immune system to fight cancer actually induce weight loss and almost have the effect to prevent obesity and overweight when you eat enough of these cancer-causing elements in your diet.
An easy way to remember that, and recall this from your PBS special, the foods that you refer to are GOMBS, GOMBS, your greens, onions, mushrooms, beans, berries, and seeds. And should this be the core of our diet?
Well, it certainly should be. I put these things on the unlimited list. In other words, we say eat large amounts. Put a big sign on your refrigerator that says eat a big salad every day. But then certainly make a soup on the weekends and put the cruciferous greens and carrot juice and mushrooms and onions in there. So yes, I want people to eat a lot of these protective foods in their diet each day. And of course, fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, and seeds should be the major load of what people eat, should be the major portion of their diet. Right now, the American diet is less than 5% of calories from produce, from unrefined fruits and vegetables. The 95% that it's the food they're eating is refined and processed foods, animal products, and white potato products like French fries and mashed potatoes. And that consumes 95% of the American diet. And we couldn't design a better cancer-causing diet, heart attack-causing diet, than we designed it we wanted it to kill people. The point here is that the American diet is deadly, and and people are eating this diet, and then of course the result is we have a medical care crisis that we can't afford, that industry can't afford to the health care needs of their employees, and it's ruining our economy, and it causes unnecessary tragedies in people's lives, and it's time people wake up to take control of their health. And I think the American population is finally realizing that they're ready for a change like this. I think that people are waking up to the fact that these drugs are not the answer. They're not a nirvana. We're not going to find a medication that's people going to pop a pill and solve the breast cancer epidemic. I think they finally realize this because we're seeing that 10 years ago, I don't think we'd see this degree of acceptance. The population wouldn't have been ready for this message, but I think now people are finally realizing that they can't ignore this.
Dr. Fuhrman, we're going to take a break for this week's Healthy Living Tip. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Since the moment you first became a parent, your focus shifted from yourself to your children. You have invested tremendous time and energy to provide nothing but the best for them, and have done all that you possibly can to help them grow into happy, self-confident, caring teenagers. But when your teenager asks to have plastic surgery, are you caught off guard? We all think our children are perfect as they are, and your first response may be dismissive, but there may be a valid reason your teen is making this request. This is Dr. Brian Glatt, and I am a board-certified plastic surgeon serving the tri-state region. If your teenager has been talking about having plastic surgery for a period of time, the best way to begin researching this possibility is to schedule a consultation with a board-certified plastic surgeon. Plastic surgery can correct an area of the face or body that may cause your teen to feel self-conscious, flawed, or different from his or her peers. Whether it's rhinoplasty to correct a crooked nose or visible nasal hump, surgical correction of protruding ears, male or female breast reduction, or other congenital asymmetries, teenagers can gain self-esteem and exhibit increased confidence after cosmetic surgery. Just remember that surgery can only result in a physical change and will not correct other life issues. Considering plastic surgery for your teenager involves many choices, the most important of which is selecting your surgeon. Again, this is Dr. Brian Glatt, and I'm a board-certified plastic surgeon. My experience in the care of teens will help you and your teenager feel comfortable and confident with your decision. I can be reached at 973-889-9300 or visit my website for more information at www.drbrianglatt.com. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Change your attitude, change your life, and big, believe, inspire, grow. Salute the entrepreneurial spirit of small business owners, people who follow a dream, work hard, and make it happen. This week's spotlight is on RC Shelter. RC Shelter is a home staging interior design company that works with home sellers and real estate agents to prepare a home to sell. Staging is about more than decorating and cleaning. It's about creating moods. Staging can make a house look bigger, brighter, cleaner, warmer, and best of all, it can make home buyers want to purchase it. RC Shelter owner Renee Colon is passionate about transforming space to bring out the best in a home, and she offers a variety of services in addition to home staging designed to do just that. Renee stresses that even those who are not selling their home but want help redesigning their space, using much of what they already own, can benefit from her services. If you're looking to create a place that anybody can call home, contact RC Shelter at 917-334-0597 or visit www.rcshelter.com. Stage, design, organize. Contact RC Shelter today.
Health insurance costs have risen at an alarming rate. At the same time, coverage choices have narrowed. Supplemental insurance provides an employer with the opportunity to enhance its current health plan without adding cost or administration. From accidents to catastrophic illness to intensive care to unexpected death, VMN Benefits has the plan to meet your needs. Call VMN Benefits at 201-697-0203 to learn more about supplemental insurance. VMN Benefits, providing peace of mind for your employees.
Some people prefer traditional funeral services. Others prefer cremation. Some want an elaborate ceremony. Others don't want any ceremony at all. Visit Funeral Homes offer all types of services because we know there are all types of people. That's why we specialize in personalized funeral services. To meet the needs of each and every family, call Bishop Quinlan Funeral Homes of Clifton at 973-546-2000 and Bishop Parker Funeral Home of Little Falls at 973-256-4700 for ideas and information on how to plan a service as individual as you are.
Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life now has a free monthly digital magazine that can be read online or emailed to your inbox. Each month, nationally recognized leaders in their field provide the information that you need to inspire and motivate you. We believe in a holistic approach to life, incorporating mind, body, and spirit. As philosopher Francis Bacon said, knowledge is power. Use the wisdom provided in the publication and apply it to your everyday life. Visit cyacyl.com for more information or to begin your free subscription. That's cyacyl.com. Welcome back to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. I'm Joan Herman, and our guest today is Dr. Joel Fuhrman, renowned nutritional researcher and author of the new book, Eat to Live. Dr. Fuhrman, in your book, you say that more than 75% of children between the ages of 4 and 11 already have signs of heart disease.
When children die in drownings and car accidents, on autopsy studies, and they do these studies, they find that most children already have the fatty streaks and the plaques in the inside of their heart. You don't notice it till later in life. Likewise, there were studies on young men at the average age of 19 who died in the Vietnam War. They found that the majority of those young men had already had heart disease. Likewise, middle-aged Americans, the vast majority, over 90% of them, have heart disease or have plaque in their heart. The point here is that the American diet, is atherosclerosis producing, and I'm claiming that heart disease is completely unnatural to our species, and it's a recent phenomenon in human history. And nobody has to have a heart attack. I'm making this, as people saying, what? Nobody has to have a heart attack? Isn't it predominantly genetic? And no, it's not genetic. And I'm saying the science is overwhelming that supports that statement. Not only do my patients with advanced heart disease reverse their heart disease and get well again and get off their blood pressure medications and the cholesterol-lowering drugs, and they get off their diabetes, they become non-diabetic. They lose the weight, they get healthy again. But also in the famous Framingham study, from Boston, they found that people who were normal weight, whose cholesterol below 150, who didn't smoke, they followed, these 20,000 people for more than 20 years, that these people simply didn't get heart attacks. And I'm saying here that this is easily achievable with proper nutrition, that you could achieve these healthy parameters and you don't have to have happen to you what happens to other Americans. And why? What's that worth to people? What if they said to somebody out there listening, what's that worth to you to guarantee not to have a heart attack? Is that worth $100, $1 million? I mean, that's just... so this is priceless information that people just simply need to know. I mean, just down the street from my house, the same block, a block down, a guy in his 40s died of a heart attack, leaving 3 daughters with no father. And this happens every 20 seconds, every 20, 30 seconds in America. Thousands of people every day are dying needlessly because our diet style is so disease-producing. And it doesn't just cause heart attacks, it causes cancer, it causes strokes, it causes people to live their life medically cripples. And we have the worst healthy life expectancy in America compared to almost all other modern countries. In other words, we have a very poor quality of life, and we're exposed to lots of medical care, but it doesn't work because medicines aren't our answer for these problems that are dietary induced.
Now, Dr. Fuhrman, we've been talking primarily about prevention, but what about if we've done this damage to ourselves already? Is it too late? Can we reverse some of these conditions that we now have?
Well, that's the exciting part. And that's why, I'm so passionate about this, is because, for example, I see a girl in my office, who her 7th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade, she was in bed with severe headaches for 3 years, every single day, unrelenting headaches, couldn't go to school, into all the top headache specialists in the country. And we see that following her diet with very high nutrient quality was the secret to her getting well. And these people come back, with tears of gratitude. It's just so rewarding to see people melt away their heart disease, melt away their diabetes, reverse their allergies, get rid of their asthma, get rid of their rheumatoid arthritis, their lupus or psoriasis. It seems almost crazy, but I'm making this radical claim that when nutritional excellence is taken to a high level of competency, when we actually achieve what I call comprehensive nutritional adequacy, sufficient levels of all the micronutrients the body needs, the body becomes a self-healing machine. The immune system, the body's repair systems, actually has the ability to repair damage. And yes, that I see people in their 60s and 70s who have high blood pressure, chest pain, on 6 or 7 different medications, who get off all medications, get rid of their heart disease, avoid bypass surgery, don't need angioplasty, and frankly, the studies on angioplasty and bypass so they do not extend life and don't prevent future heart attacks. It's a scam that people have to be given this information so they have the option not to have future heart disease if they choose to. So it's fine if you want to eat what you want and have hemorrhoids and gallstones and kidney stones and strokes and heart attacks. But I'm saying it doesn't have to be that way, and that people aren't given the information that they can make an adequate decision for their own life. If you want to, eat like other people eat and have those diseases, fine, but at least you should know you don't have to have that happen to you if you didn't want to.
Dr. Fuhrman, someone's listening to you right now, and they're excited about what you're saying, and obviously they need to go out and get the book, Eat to Live, which gives all the information in detail. But what can they do in concrete terms? Somebody wants to make these changes. What should their diet look like tomorrow? Breakfast, lunch, dinner. What types of foods, very specific, do they need to incorporate to get started right now?
Well, I can't emphasize enough that knowledge is the key here, and that knowledge will set them free and give them the motivation, and the ability to enjoy this to the fullest extent, and the people with the most knowledge get the success. So that's very important, that they read the book or come to my website at drfuhrman.com and get more information. Now, to answer your question directly, there's a few simple things I want them to do. Number one, I want them to eat a big salad every day and chew it very well. And I want them to use a healthy dressing on the salad that we make, like maybe mix. We'll give you an example. One might be blending oranges with raw cashews and toasted sesame seeds and some blood orange vinegar and lemon, make an incredibly delicious but healthy dressing. Or tomato sauce or tomato paste mixed with almonds and fig vinegar or balsamic vinegar. In other words, we're actually using the nuts and seeds in the salad dressings, because it facilitates the absorption of the phytochemicals, and it has protections against your heart. So the first simple thing is a big salad every day that you chew very well with a healthy dressing. If you can put raw onions on the salad or cabbage or a little kale, that's even better. And the second thing is, once a week, I want people to make a giant pot of vegetable bean soup. And I want them to keep that soup in the refrigerator and take it to work with them for lunch, and to have a bowl of vegetable bean soup every day and make it with onions and lots of mushrooms and maybe a carrot juice base, and put in broccoli rabe and leeks and zucchini and spices and all kinds of flavorings. In other words, use one of our recipes and make a great pot of soup on the stove. I think if people did those few simple things, eat a lot of, eat some berries and fruits for breakfast, have a salad once a day, have a soup once a day, have a big serving of steamed green vegetables every day, and remember what you said, the GOMBS, the GOMBS, my anachronism for GOMBS, the most powerful anti-cancer foods: greens, onions, mushrooms, beans, berries, and seeds. They can write that word GOMBS on the refrigerator, and the salad is the main dish. They can start in this high nutrient program right away. Imagine if the whole United States started eating a big salad, a bowl of soup, and some GOMBS every day. They would, get those foods into them every day. We would immediately see, cancer rates drop by 60 to 80%.
And would you also add to eliminate or reduce dairy and animal fat products or animal products?
Well, that's right. Americans are eating, 3 to 4 times as much animal products as the scientific studies show is acceptable to reduce cancer rates. So yes, but you see, it happens very naturally, because as you eat more of these high-nutrient plant foods, you don't have room to eat so much junk, processed foods, and animal products, and those go down in direct proportion. So we're saying here that I'm classifying the food pie into 3 different categories. One category is processed foods, one category is animal products, and the other third category is unrefined plant foods, which means, things like fruits and vegetables and beans and nuts. And we're saying here that the processed food category has to be diminished and the animal product category has to be diminished. And the unrefined plant food category has to be expanded radically. And then the question is, well, how do we expand the unrefined plant food radically and diminish the other two? Because overall, you're going to desire less calories. So we desire less calories, and we're growing. So the answer is, how do you make that filling? How do we make it taste great or gourmet? And you know what's really cool? I just got back from Aspen, where we had a Nutritarian festival. We had the top chefs in the world, from fine restaurants competing for awards, making my Nutritarian diet, see who could make the best tasting dishes. And it was a fun time. We raised money for nutritional research. And the point is we have my own 20 years of experience in cooking this way, but all these world-class chefs getting on boards, and even restaurants, starting up serving this type of food and making this type of food for their clients, and great creative chefs making incredibly tasting Nutritarian, high-nutrient recipes for people. So why not, have people, wow, this is incredibly delicious, and know it's good for you at the same time. So to me, it's just like a great marriage here.
The book is Eat to Live by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. In the book, you will get detailed information about everything that Dr. Fuhrman's been talking about today, as well as recipes and sample menus. So Eat to Live by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. If you'd like more information, you can visit our website, which is cyacyl.com. That stands for Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. While on our site, listen to past shows as podcasts, read our digital magazine, and sign up for our mailing list. Dr. Fuhrman, it was wonderful having you here today. This information, it is, as Dr. Oz said, a medical breakthrough. I hope that everyone heeds your advice and makes that, as you say, 6-week commitment to a better, healthier way of life.
Well, thank you, Joan.
This is Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in.